Welcome everybody to the Wednesday team call. We're gonna make it quick today. I know Connie, as our guest speaker, needs to be done and ready to help her husband get ready to go off to work, do dinner and all of that stuff. I'm taking my boys on a trip to the cabin with my parents, so we're gonna keep it concise, teach you guys something awesome today. But first and foremost, I wanna make a couple announcements. I want to give a shout out to Connie and Leanne, who are on live with us today, for going to the road show last week with Team Beachbody to the live event. And then also to Hannah, Nick, and Chris, who also went to the road show event live in Bristol. So anyhow, the next live event that you guys can get to would be your local Super Saturday. So make note right now that Super Saturday will be on January 6th, 2018. So it's exactly a month from today, so that's pretty close. So make sure you mark your calendar as being open so you can go to that event there. If you want to know where your local event is, you can go to your Coach Online office to events and training. You're going to be able to find an interactive map there if you go to and click on Saturday, Super Saturday, or you can go to coachfaq.com, search Super Saturday 2018 or January 2018. It'll pop up and take you into the same area where there's an interactive map. You can find the location nearest to you. Super Saturdays are key to going to your to growing your business. It's on a live event you can go to, hear stories, hear all the updates, and take away a plan of action. So that is January 6th, 2018. And then the next thing that I wanted to make sure that you guys know of and are aware of are the Coach Summit. It's our annual Coach Summit. Currently we're about 25,000 coaches come together. There's celebrations. The Beachbody Challenge winner is awarded. There's workshops, keynote speakers, all kinds of greatness there. Last year we had Gary Vaynerchuk. Before we've had Brendan Burchard. Amazing keynote speakers are going to be there. You want to be there because you're going to be able to spend time with us as your team. What we usually do is late at nights, we gather together in like hotel lobbies and we just get to know each other, spend time working together like that. So we want to make sure you get there. It's in Indianapolis. So you can go to www.coachsummit.com and you'll be able to find all the info on Coach Summit 2018. It's from June 21st to June 24th. So I believe it's important that you set the goal, be clear about what you want, and then we have 6 months to grow your business. Well, basically 7 months to be able to afford your airfare, be able to build relationships and room up and have roommates at Summit to share the cost there, and be able to grow your business and celebrate your team success when we get there. So with that being said, those are the two events that I wanted to recognize. Now I'm going to introduce Connie as our guest speaker today. She's going to be talking about a few social media do's and don'ts, as well as understanding personalities inside of this business and understanding how knowing personalities can help you lead people and also help you recruit them into your challenge groups or into your team. So I want to give a shout out to Connie. She's an Emerald coach. She started on October 19th, the official launch date of Team Beachbody in the UK. She's an Emerald coach, and she's also hit Success Club in her first 2 months. So she earned a call with Carl Deichler, and one more month of Success Club, and she'll earn her free ticket to Coach Summit. So a shout out to Connie for that. Also, I want to give a shout out to, because I see you guys on here live, Raven and Leanne also for advancing your businesses. And there we go. So Connie, with that being said, I'm going to unmute you and we're going to let you go ahead with your topic. So you're ready to go.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Do you hear me okay, yeah? Right, I've not done this before, so bear with me. I've made some notes, so I will be reading off notes as well. I've been in network marketing for quite some time. I've been in the business basically since 2001 or even 2000. And I've done training in network marketing literally since 1998. And that's with a particular guy who's very good at social media. I don't know if you remember the old AOL days and where the instant messaging started. And that's where I know him from. And his name is Max Steingard. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but he's a very famous American guy who knows virtually everything about social media and how to market everything. So most of my information has come from him and from a guy you probably know. It's Eric Worre. So I've been learning with both of these guys in the last few months more intensely. So what I've learned from them, so I'll start now, is when you become a Beachbody coach, a lot of the new people, they tend to put Beachbody coach in their profile straight away. Doesn't leave anybody left anything to ask them to see what's Beachbody about, because they've already told them what it is and what they're doing. So you shouldn't really do that, because the first thing what your people, who are in your friends list, what they'll see is they'll see the word Beachbody. They might have not heard it, they might have, and the first thing they do is they will Google it. Now, when they Google it, great, they find some good stuff, but they'll also find the not so good stuff, which is there is people who have quit this business in the past, and some of them have bad things to say about it, and that's the problem. They will find that, or even find somebody else to get in business with, and that's the last thing what you want. So the best thing what I've been taught to put in your profile is either you're an entrepreneur, or you're a health coach, fitness coach, lifestyle coach, anything like that. Just don't mention Beachbody. Another thing what people what are new in the business tend to do a lot, they use their Facebook page as an advertising tool, and straight away they post their links and their business, their opportunity, their products, everything on their Facebook page. And again, it gives away straight away what they do. People will Google it, and there you go. There's nothing left for your people to even ask you what you're doing, because you've already told them everything and they don't need to ask you no more. Also, I've noticed that this activity doesn't really get you a lot of likes. The most likes you will get is either your family, the people who support you, or other Beachbody coaches, but not the people who you want for them to see it. And just for a moment, I'm just going through my notes. On top of it, actually, you can appear salesy on top of that, because you will come across as a salesperson. And when you try to tell people about the business, you are automatically trying to tell them that it's not about selling. But they will then say to you, well, what are you doing then? You're selling to me, plus you're advertising like a salesman. You wouldn't go outside and basically go to the next person who you see walking past you saying, hello, here's my link, please click it, go to this website and buy my product. These people will just look at you and walk away and don't want to know. I mean, you get these people in shopping malls, they actually do that to you. They walk up to you and want to sell you things. And it doesn't work online either, because I know you think like you're leaving the links on there and then you hope for the right people to look at it. But people don't like to be sold to on social media, because people tend to go on social media to socialize. That's what it's there for. So instead of trying to sell to them in that way, give hints. Like you can do, I'm not sure how to describe it, but you can leave subtle hints about what it is you do. Like you could have maybe your Shakeology nearby, but don't actually go and point at it and saying, this is Shakeology. And there again, you become salesy. Just let people see subtle things in the background of your photographs and things like that. And people will actually come to you and ask you saying, what's that about? I've heard about this before, but tell me more. I've had this happen to me a couple of times. What you do is you post your usual stuff, and what people have become friends with you for, like the people who you've had on your friends list beforehand, they became friends with you for a reason. They like you for who you are. So carry on posting your usual stuff. And the way then to approach people is when they click like on your profile or on your photographs or anything what you post, you then get back to them privately. And what you can basically say is when they did press like on you, saying, oh, thanks for your like, how have you been? I've not spoke to you in a while, what's new? And that way you can start a conversation with them. And obviously you start the conversation, you then find out over a few days. Obviously, you won't get it done in a day because you can't build a business in a day. It just doesn't happen that way. And you speak to them more and more, and you end up finding out what either they have troubles or they have certain areas where you'll find out that they have a need for either your product or need for your service, or they have a need for money. You can basically tell them about all that, but don't force it upon them. They will let you know by talking to them without you trying to sell them the business. They will tell you if they have a need for what you're doing. Like, you will find a lot of people who hate their jobs and they're going to say, oh, I wish there was something else I could do. And in the end, by the time you've spoke to them for a while, you can actually mention to them saying, listen, I'm doing something and I didn't like my job either, but I found a way of doing something else. And that's basically how you make relationships online. You just keep on talking to people in a private way. Don't do it all in the open, because you don't want everybody who ends up not wanting to know about the business to read all your business, what you're saying. So the best way to do it is privately via private message. And if you have a like of a person who you've never been in contact with on anything, like a new person, for example, you'd approach them also in a private way and say to them, thanks for your like. It's nice to meet you on here. Sorry for asking, but how did we get connected? And that way they'll have a way of answering you. And so you can continue the conversation. So there again, you've made a new friend and you can carry on talking to them. Yeah, the aim is to build relationships online. It's not about you selling your opportunity. That will all come naturally if you just keep talking to people. Another thing is people tend to make their profile picture either their kids or their pets, dogs, cats, you name it. What you have to think about is, would you get in business with a cat or a dog? I mean, I wouldn't, because people can't tell who they're doing business with or who they're even speaking to. So make sure that your profile picture is of you and you only, and that it's a clear picture that people can actually see you, not one what's like a long way away that you only like very small on it. And your cover photo, which is the large picture in the background, basically that is your branding. You brand yourself. You do not brand Beachbody on there, because you are in business for yourself. You're not working for Beachbody. You're not an employee of Beachbody. You are in business for yourself, so you should brand yourself. You can post a picture there with you and your gym gear on, or anything related to what you're doing, but just don't add the word Beachbody to it, because again, you will just give people a reason to Google it instead of asking you about it. And yes, that's basically the main of the what to do and what not to do on Facebook. And now I've got this personality profiles, which is another thing which is, I find, very important. When you do speak to people, not every person is the same how they take information, what you give them. Now, there are 4 colors of personalities, which there are 4 different types of people. You get the red personality. I myself am a red personality. We are outgoing people, but we are task-oriented. We are not people person sort of thing. We are not people-oriented, so we're finding it a bit harder to talk to people than others would. You get the blue personality, who are outgoing also. And you get the yellow personality, who are more reserved people, but they are people-oriented. Same as the blue ones are people-oriented. And then you get the green personality, who are reserved people, and they are also task-oriented. So the red personality traits are basically, they are about power. They are decisive. They are direct. Like, I wouldn't tell you what you want to hear. I'll tell you what you need to hear. That's my motto. So they are decisive, direct, they are doers, and they are fast-paced in network marketing. The blue personality are outgoing people, and they're all about fun. They are very hyper. They can be very hyper. They love talking to people. They can talk easily to anybody. They're very exciting. They are very inspiring. And they are also very fast-paced. They do not like to hang around. Then you get the yellow personality. They're a bit more reserved, and they are people-oriented. And they're all about helping people. They love to help them. They like making people feel good about themselves. They love making friends, and they are very slow-paced in network marketing. Takes them a bit longer to get their head around it, basically. Now, the green personality is a reserved and task-oriented, and they're all about questions. They love to ask questions. They are very cautious, and they're very careful, and they are calculating people. And they are also very slow-paced in network marketing. So basically, if you are trying to approach somebody like my type, which is the red type, you need to tell them that I can be in control of my own business, that I can teach people how it's done, and that I can make a lot of money. That's basically what a red personality is about. With a blue personality, you will tell them how much fun they're going to be having while they were building this business, and the amount of people they can inspire. They are mostly people. So anything to do with people and how much they can talk to people is inspiring to them. Now, the yellow personality, you need to tell them when you introduce the business to them that the main thing they'll be doing is they'll be helping so many people, and that their support will be so invaluable, and that usually makes them want to know more about the business. And with a green personality, basically you need to tell them everything. From the history of the company, how long they've been trading, to the risk factor of doing such a business, and that they can do it online, as they tend to be very people shy. So what you have to realize is the way to find out what a certain personality is, when you talk to people, you usually find out whether they are reserved people or whether they're outgoing, whether they are very quiet or if they are talkative. So the outgoing types is only red and blue, and the reserved types is yellow and green. Now you'll find out if a person is a people person or if they're more task oriented, if they like to hang around in parties and stuff, or whether they rather stay at home and be on the computer type of thing. They are the red personalities and the green personalities, but the reds are the outgoings and the greens are the reserved types. So you have to watch out that you don't, if you are a red personality, you cannot talk to another prospect in the way you understand it. Because if I were to say to a green personality, you can be your own boss, you can do this, you can make loads of money, they're going to go, I need to get more information first. I can't just get into that. It's because they need more information. They need to ask all the questions. They need to find the history about the ins and outs of everything first before they even look at your opportunity. And with the yellows, the same. You have to talk to people in their color language. Now, I have an audio which I can make available, which tells you all about every personality in more depth. But this is basically the basics. If you talk to people in the wrong way, you can make them just disappear. I've heard of people having people block them because they didn't understand what they're being told, because that person didn't explain to them in their way. They only explained it in a way what was too much for them in a way. If you say, like I say, if you say to a reserved person how much outgoing things they've got to do, like they got to talk to people, got to do this, got to do that, it frightens them. And so you have to be more cautious with that you don't like scare them off. And that happens a lot because people do not know how to talk to the different personalities. But I've been doing this for a few months now, so I'm getting my head around it. That's basically it at the moment. I don't have any more.
Awesome. Thank you, Connie. I think that was some valuable information. I'm going to have Connie, she shared that she has an audio that explains it and talks about it a little bit more. We'll have her put that in a Google. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yep.
A little note that said the audio wasn't detected. Okay, so she'll share that in a link inside the team page. We'll be able to take that and then put it in the team page. You guys can download and listen to it on your own time. I'm going to just cover one brief question or some help that I had the opportunity to do with some coaches on our team just this morning. So maybe it will help you guys in the future. Oftentimes when you're starting a new coach, or maybe you have a coach that starts to see some success and some progress, and it gets a little bit time consuming or overwhelming, we'll put it like that. A lot of times this kind of has to funnel back into the same topic we're talking about today. Certain personalities will feel overwhelmed by too much information or having to get out and do this and that. And I wanted to address this because inside of the team pages right now, we're talking about hosting 80-day obsession group. We're talking about these packs that coaches can buy, customers can buy, the opportunity to be inside of a private test group with Autumn. If you're a coach and you purchase one of these packs, it's on top of Beachbody On Demand. It's a new thing that we're doing. You can look at the details in the Coach FAQ, but you get there's different packages that give you like Recover, Energize, materials for 80-day obsession. And if you purchase one of those packs, you get in a private group with Autumn. And that's super awesome and super cool. But and if you want to participate in that, good for you. I'm going to do it, but that's your own choice. But the one thing that I think that we have to understand and help you guys understand as you start new coaches or new challengers is not everybody is going to be cut out for 80-day obsession. If you have a brand new coach, let's say, or a brand new challenger, and you're just getting them ready to start on 21-day fix, like maybe they haven't even purchased it yet, but you're talking about it, they're getting ready to do it. Don't switch the whole theme on them to push everybody into 80-day obsession. Continue with that person into their goals. If you're a new coach, for example, and you're doing core to force, and you're on day 12, and you see everybody in the team talking about going into this 80-day obsession test group and buying this pack and that pack, you have to kind of shut out sometimes the noise and just focus on your journey and where you're at, because it can get overwhelming knowing okay, we got Super Saturday in a month, we got a coach sneak peek coming up next week, we got 80-day obsession starting packs available on December 15th till January 14th. All of these things can seem overwhelming. And anytime that you feel overwhelmed, always take it back to the 4 vital behaviors. Just step back from it and say okay, what do I'm not at the same place Scott's at, or Connie, or Sean. This seems a little bit overwhelming for me right now. And just kind of shut all that out and say, I don't need that right now. What I need is to complete my 21-day fix journey, continue sharing that, and finding people that I can relate with in my journey and starting them with the program that they need. So that's just a little note for you guys as you see a lot of push towards the 80-day obsession or towards packs that have to do with 80-day obsession and this and that. Remember that simple concept. If you ever feel overwhelmed, it's what I do too. There's times when a couple weeks ago when I talked about being a little bit stressed for the first time ever and all of that, I had to step back and be whoa, okay, I'm trying to do this and that. I'm not prepared to talk about 80-day obsession yet, and I'm working towards elite. I don't know how that's going to happen, and now I'm trying to do these vlogs on my YouTube channel. And I had all these things going on, and I got a little bit stressed out, and that's not fun. So you have to kind of step back a little bit and say okay, what do I need to do? And so I stepped back, and it got I picked a book that I needed to work on to help me through the holidays and through this part of my life. I picked a program to focus on, and right now it's not 80-day obsession, I'll talk about it, but it's Body Beast. So I focused on Body Beast, my transformation. I'm on week 2. I focused on the books that I need to read. I focused on meditation. I focused on how can I meet new people, and I spent the last week creating a new ad. Instead of, for me, it was doing an ad for $5 a day versus vlogging every day, which was going to be my process to find people. So I picked something that was less stressful to me, which was creating that ad. And so that's my way to meet people. And I started reaching out to 10 people a day with these things I printed out for a group for the 80-day obsession. And it's as simple as that. And that's it. That's all I'm focusing on. And then I realized, like, okay, I'm not stressed out. This is not overwhelming to me because this is my priority. This is what I'm going to focus on. So my challenge to you guys as you leave with what you learned from Connie today is, like, write down, like, what is your focus? What do you want to accomplish over the next 3 months? And what are the key identifying factors or things that you're going to do that are going to move you towards that goal? And then shut out the rest. If it's shutting out 80-day obsession, if it's shutting out the team coach sneak peek, and it's just you focusing on meeting 5 new people a day, having conversations with them, doing your workout, doing your personal development, and inviting people to your next challenge group at the beginning of January, just do that. But the thing is, you got to figure out what's your priority over the next 3-6 months, and then figure out what actions will align you with that. And then know that we're here to help you and direct you in that and give you ideas to what might help. So don't feel like you have to participate in every team call, every team challenge group, every team coach sneak peek. Those are just there so you guys know you have support if you're not ready to do something on your own yet. So anyway, guys, I know Connie's got to get going and I've got to get going. I love seeing your smiley faces and a thumbs up. Let's go out and let's go out and impact some lives. We've got a lot of people that need our help, especially during this time. And remember that this is probably the most important month ever for you to plant seeds, because come the end after Christmas and into January, people are making New Year's resolutions. And the more that they hear you and see your face and your social media presence and your private messages, you're going to be the first thing in their mind when they look for a solution for their new resolution. So we'll see you guys next week on the team call. And I want to give you guys some exciting news. I don't have it locked in yet, but I've been in conversation with Darren O'Lean and Isabel Deichler to have them teach us about nutritional stuff on our team call in the month of December. So be watching out for that so you can prepare yourself and your teams. They won't be our normal team call time though because of their scheduling. But once I get that, I'll make sure that you guys know when it's at. So guys, let's go do it. See you later.